Peace. This is Wise for Wise Words Media, back at y'all for another round. And fight fans, yesterday we got the first face-off for September's super fight between Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Jamel Twin Charlo. So this is a big fight, of course, because you got undisputed champion versus undisputed champion. However, this undisputed champion versus undisputed champion is lopsided because one champion in Charlo campaigns 2 weight classes south at 154, as opposed to Canelo Alvarez, who holds the belts at 168. That's a 14-pound difference. So yesterday, I heard some people saying, "Oh, look at the face-off. Charlo's bigger than Canelo. Just look at it. Look, Charlo's taller. He's bigger than Canelo." My friends, that's not how boxing works, right? In boxing goes by weight classes, not height classes, weight classes. And there's a reason for that. Because just because somebody is taller, doesn't mean that they fill in with as much muscle mass and power than the next person that's shorter than them. Case in point, we have one of the most obvious examples in today's day of boxing. We have the 6'7", almost 7-foot fighter, Sebastian Fundora. Sebastian Fundora campaigns at that same weight class Jamel Charlo holds the titles. He's a 154-pound fighter, but he's 6'7". Sebastian Fundora is taller than most fighters in boxing today. In fact, if that's how boxing was to work on height classes, Sebastian Fundora is taller than everybody at 154, 160. You might as well put him at heavyweight. Why is it that Sebastian Fundora does not fight at heavyweight? There's a reason for that. Because while he may be 6'7" and he towers over other fighters, he does not have the muscle. He does not have the size. And if you lack the muscle, you lack the size, you're going to lack the strength to go up against the guys that are at heavyweight. Because he's one of the tallest guys in boxing. He should go straight to heavyweight, right? Because he's taller, if we're going to use that metric. But it doesn't work like that. Just because he's taller doesn't mean that he can fill in with muscle and power to fight the guys at the heavier weight classes. That's why he campaigns at 154, even though he's 6'7". You know, another shining example is Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was shorter than everybody in the heavyweight division. But Mike Tyson filled in at a nice mean 200 pounds, and he had the muscle and the size and the power to compete at heavyweight. Didn't matter if he was shorter. He was knocking everything out because of the retention of muscle. He was able to have the size and the power after a training camp to retain a certain amount of muscle mass, and strength in order to compete at that division of heavyweight and not go somewhere smaller. So height does not mean anything in boxing. It's not. That's why it's not height classes, it's weight classes. How your body fills in, how the muscle how your muscle is able to adapt after a training camp and maintain a certain amount of power so that you're not weak in there or sluggish in there if you're competing in a lower weight class than you should be, you know? So that's what Floyd Mayweather was talking about Earl Spence. He said that Earl Spence shouldn't be at 147. In fact, Floyd Mayweather said Earl Spence needs to be at 168. He said forget 154, forget 160. He said Spence needs to be at 168 because of the way his body will feel. He will retain more muscle and have more power if he goes at a higher weight class. And that's coming from the GOAT himself, Floyd Mayweather. So, you know, y'all can stop with the with the trying to glorify Canelo before the fight. Listen, man, he's fighting a smaller guy, period. Charlo is a 154-pound fighter, never fought at 160 a day in his life. And not only is Canelo making him come past 160, he's making him go even beyond that to 168. Canelo's not even meeting him at a catch weight. Can you believe that? He's not even meeting him at a catch weight. So, Canelo fans, don't complain if he wins and people are not impressed because he fought somebody that's 14 pounds smaller. 14 pounds smaller. And I don't want to hear, oh yeah, fight night, you know, people, they rehydrate. He'll be closer to Canelo. No, he's 14 pounds is 14 pounds. If Canelo, let's say if Charlo rehydrates at 168, that's probably around what he rehydrates now, you know, before a fight. Or probably less than that, you know, probably like 165-ish. But around 168 is where he probably rehydrates on fight night. Canelo rehydrates close to 190. So you still cannot compare the two, man. Canelo did not even give him, and don't hit me with the other excuse, oh, he wanted the other Charlo. He wanted the bigger Charlo. That's been put to rest. Because Charlo, out of his own mouth, said, I was always the one that Canelo was going to fight. Never my brother. It was always me. So Canelo was already targeting the smaller Charlo from the beginning. The receipts are there. You can look it up. Charlo said it himself. It was never my brother. It was me. The fight was always with me. So, yes, Canelo targeted the smaller Charlo. So, if he wins, it's supposed to happen, right? You're bigger. You want to impress people? You fight guys your size. That's why we have weight classes. You fight a guy. You fight a David Benavidez. You fight a David Morrell. You fight Demetrius Andre. These are the guys that are campaigning at 168. You want the accolades, the praise, you fight people your size. That's why we have weight classes, not height classes. I'm Wise for Wise Words Media. Peace.